Hi there, here's yet another video by Dave Tromp, and this video will be about coding, specifically about how you could scrape a website to get information from a website. I make videos about trading, but I'm also a coder, and I also post videos about all kinds of coding stuff and tech stuff. Sometimes also trading related, so I might make some videos about how to get data for doing backtesting on currency pairs or stocks or cryptocurrencies, for instance. But this video is purely about how I made a small project that I saw on Upwork, and I figured, hey, I can do this data extraction for these people, and without applying for the job, I just figured, let's have some fun. Let's just do it and see how far I can get. And well, I can tell you that I was able to scrape a website to get the data that this company wanted from the website. So let's have a look at it. So here's the job that I found on Upwork. Upwork is a freelancing site where you can, as a coder, you can get all kinds of small jobs or even very lengthy jobs that will take months to complete. But this was a very small job, and it was posted by someone who wanted to get company name, URL, phone, the email, and the address for record stores from a website called recordstoreday.com. So let's have a look at that. So this is the website. So it lists per state all the connected stores. That's what I figured. So if we click on a link to go to a store, we can see the name, and we can see the address, and even a map that's linked, a phone number and an email. And for this particular address, there's no website mentioned, so let's find one that has. So let's take the next one. So here you can see a button, visit website, so you can click on it, and then you go to their website, if it will run, if it will load. silverplatters.com. Well, okay, never mind. Their website's not really responsive. Anyway, this is what they would want. They would like to have a CSV file or Excel spreadsheet with all this data from each store per line. So let me switch to my coding editor, and then here is a preliminary result. I didn't go through and scrape the entire list of stores, but as you can see here, for the first state that it found all these addresses with the company name, company URL, company address, company phone, email, and I also added the store URL. So if something is missing, you can just click on the store URL and get it by hand. So how did I do this? Well, let's have a look. So this is the code that I used. It's not very neat and tidy. It's just a simple script. And what I usually do is I run it in pieces. So let me show you how that works, just to show that. So let's say I want to run these first 4 lines. This is Visual Studio Code, and in Visual Studio Code you can just select what you want to run and then press Shift Enter, and then here it will just run these lines, as you can see. So this way you can go through the code line by line and go back, rerun something, make some changes, or even write in the console something that you want to test out. So there are a few libraries that I use to scrape this website. First of all, I noticed that this website is rendering a lot of information by JavaScript in the browser. So it's not pulling the data from a database and then just displaying it as HTML. That would be too easy. So if we want to scrape data from the website, we need to render it. So we cannot just simply make a call using the request library or the URL lib library and then parse the data that's there, because the data that we will get is just JavaScript without the data. Excuse me. So therefore I found a library that could render the website, specifically the JavaScript part of the website. So that's Dryscape. We'll have a look at it in a few seconds. And of course, Beautiful Soup. That's a very well known library for parsing HTML data and getting information out of web pages. Then I have a custom library that I use. It's a user agent library that is a small code that will generate a new user agent from time to time. So when we will hit the website, it will look like we're hitting it from different user agents. Not sure if this is really necessary for this website, but it's nice to do it like this, so they will not notice too much if we run like 10,000 or 20,000 calls to their website, that it's all coming from the same user agent. Let's have a look at Dryscape. So this is the website, Dryscape. So Dryscape is a library that can be found on GitHub. And it's I'm using Ubuntu as my operating system. So using Ubuntu, you can just use these lines of code to install it using the command line. So let's go through that. So let's do this. So you simply do sudo and then enter this line, and then it says it's already installed because I already run this. So you need some libraries. It took quite some time to have it installed, but finally it was installed, and that was pretty easy. Then you need to do pip install Dryscape. I can run it, but I've already done this, so believe me, this works. So then when you have Dryscape installed on your computer, you can import it doing import Dryscape, and then you will initiate a session. So we've already run this part, so let's initiate the session. So I'll just select this line and do Shift Enter, and then you can see the session is initiated. So the website has, let me see, a list of states in it as the option box that you can select. Let's go to it. So let's go back. So I didn't do the international search, so just for the state. So if I go here, let's see all these states. If you look at the HTML, you will see that all these states are referenced. if you look at the left bottom in the browser, you can see recordstoreday.com/venues, and then state is MT for Montana. Here it says states is WA for Washington, etc. So this is they put it in a picture, but actually this is just a select statement with all the options are the states. So let's see if I still have the HTML for that. Yes, I do. So this is the HTML for this page, and then we can also do it like this. We can just go in here, do inspect, and then somewhere here we should see all the, let me see, if we do something like this. No, not quite. Anyway, believe me, this is HTML that I pulled from, well, let's have a look at that, how I did that. So we had a session here. Then with session visit, we can visit the URL. So we do session.visit, and then let's get this URL. Sorry, stores. So let's remove this. So this page, we want to see what are all the states that we can select. So let's do like so. So we will visit this. So now the Dryscape session will visit this this URL. So let's do Shift Enter. So it will take some time. It will render the page in the background, and it will get it. Then we can get a response like so. So the response body we want to see. So I've selected this line here, and then I'll do Shift Enter. So I have the response body. So now if we look at the response, then this is the complete response. Which is totally unreadable. Let's see if we can prettify this. Response dot, can we do pretty? Does that work? No. Anyway, if we save this to an HTML file, which I did, we come out to this test HTML file, which will look like this, because we can prettify it. And then what we see is that there are all these states. So AL, AK, AZ, Arizona, I presume, CA, California. Yes. So what we can do is we can just select this and then make it into a list of the states. So we do Ctrl+C. So I've done that already. So here we are. We have a list of all these states, but if you would need to do it, you could do it something like this. So let's just do another test. So we could just find all these parts of text, and we can use the regular expression and then say dot star regular expression. So now it selects all this. We can replace it with nothing, so we get this, and then all we need to do is remove the latter part, so like so, and this we can take out. So this is how I got a list with all the states. So then what this code here does, it opens the states file and it reads in every line, so every state code, and then it sets a state URL that it can go and visit. Yes, so let's go back to the website and see how this works on the website. So if we click here on a state, it says here, no, well, let's just open it. It says here on the top the URL. So every time we want to call this entire page and then replace it with every state that we can find. LA, is that a state? I'm not sure. Yes, it is. And then get all the from this every page for every state, it will get all the URLs. So we will build a corpus, as it's called, with all the URLs for all the stores, and then we can visit all the URLs for all the stores, and we can get the information per store. So let's take a step back. So we just manually created a list with all the states, yes, that we put in the states.txt. Then we will go through all the states and call all the pages with all the URLs on it for all the stores, and we will store these URLs for the stores in a stores.txt file. So we end up with a file with a whole list of all the URLs for all the stores. It's 1700 more or less. There's some other URLs in between that I commented out. Those are the URLs where we get the store URLs from. So that's as a reference for me. So once we went through all the states and have all the URLs for all the stores, then we can go through all the URLs of the stores, visit them, and capture the data and make it a CSV. That's what we'll do in this second part here. So let's analyze the first part where we go through all the states. So we open the file, we do that with open and then the file name as, I call it F, and then we go through every line in the file using the readlines method, and then we build a state URL. I print it out just for my own reference. Then we visit that state URL, we get the body, then we will of the response of the body, we will create a beautiful soup object, and then from the beautiful soup object we will get the part that has the ID near venues. So why is that? Let's have a look here. If we open the inspect, let's do this a bit lower. So let's go back to this part. So here, this is a store URL that we need to get, but it's in a table, and the table has an ID or near venues. So the venues are part of this. So this venues variable will contain this part, this table, and then from this part, so we narrowed it down. So from this part we will get all the links. We can say venues.findAllA, so find all the A elements, so the link elements, and go through them. So what I do here is I check if there's a store in the URL. So if the URL contains this part here, store, then I'll want to capture it. So then I'll add it to the store URLs, which is a list that I initiated here, store URLs, and then I append the URL to it. Once that's all done, then I'll open a file, the stores.txt file, and I write all the store URLs to it using the write method and the join method on the store URLs. So this will end up with, for instance, per page it will write this, so it will write here all these URLs. Let me see. Yeah, so it will write the state URL. That's this one. So this one, including a hash. So the next time I go through them, I can filter these out by using the hash. So that's this one here, hash. And then it will take the list of store URLs and make that into a text blob separated by line breaks, and write that also to the file. So per state, we will call the page, parse it this way, and write the store URLs to the file. So this way we will have a file that contains all the store URLs. So first run we will get this, second run, second state we will get this part, third run we will get this, etc., etc., until we have all the URLs. We have a corpus with all the URLs that we need to visit to get the addresses and other information from. So I hope you followed along so far, I'm going to take a little break and then go back to the second part, and that's a little bit more difficult. It's about parsing the address from the website store URLs. Okay, see you in the next part.